Everton lost at home again. Let me explain what I mean about Ancelotti being too big for Everton. It's a huge football club, Everton, so it's not disrespectful to them, but there's a huge project there to get them to where they feel they should be in time for the new stadium, which is definitely, one of the world's greatest stadiums. If everything's going to be as it looks with that stadium, it's going to be fantastic. So they need a stellar team and consistently high-level performances and finishes and trophy winning to go into that stadium. And that's why Ancelotti, I understand why Ancelotti's come in, and it's a hell of a managerial signing. But this is a guy who's used to being at the very top clubs who are already there, used to managing those egos and dealing with all that stuff. So he's then trying to take on a job that he's not used to, which is taking Everton from effectively mid-table or bottom half of the top half, if you know what I mean, into top 6 / top 4. And he's proving to be very, very difficult. And I think the reason why this flashed into my head, he's just too big for Everton, is because when Ben Godfrey, who's had a good season, surged forward, had a shot from 25 yards, it nearly went out the ground, it was shocking. Camera went to Ancelotti's face and he's basically saying, what on earth are you doing that for? So he's got players who aren't at his level. If I equate it to... So when Ray Houghton finished playing, Ray was a top player, right? Mm. When he finished playing, he went non-league with Stevenage and he only played 2 or 3 games. All the fans thought he was rubbish because he was on a different level to all the other players. He was playing passes for them to run onto and they were thinking, why is he playing that into space, not to my feet? Because they weren't thinking like he was thinking. So I just think it's the right manager at the wrong time for Everton.
I just think you're bigging up the manager there. I mean, he is a fantastic manager, there's no doubt about it. And I think with the resources he's had and the players he's got, he should be doing better. I think they've been in a position this year where away from home, they've been excellent because they're not under as much pressure to go away from home. Players, the home side tends to be a bit more open and on the front foot. I think what they've found at home is that people have found a way to play against Everton. They just, let them have possession of the football when it's in their own half, sit deep and catch them on the break. And they're doing it time and time again when Everton play at home. And their record is absolutely embarrassing. And the manager's got to come into question on that. You'd no point saying, listen, Ancelotti's been at some big clubs. Mourinho's been at some big clubs. And he's a great manager. Same as Ancelotti. Now, at Everton, the position they've been in this season, for where they are now, is not good enough. They could slip out of that top 10.
So you're saying he should be sacked? Or?
No, I'm not saying he should be sacked, but he can't sit there. We can't sit here and say, oh, it's the players' fault. If this would be any other club, we'd all be blaming the manager. But for some reason with Ancelotti, everybody's blaming the players.
No, hold on. I'm not blaming the players. What I'm saying is it's a job he's not suited to doing. So in effect, I'm saying he's not good enough to do this job.
So he can only manage a big club?
That's what he's been used to over the years, yeah. So I think that's what he is suited to. I thought it was a great appointment because I thought it would take Everton to another level. And I think there were signs of that, certainly early season. Some of the football they played, some of the results they had, what he did with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the resurgence of, say, Tom Davies, who I think most Everton fans had written off. But then we get to this back end of the season, they can't even beat a relegated team at home. And they looked a mess. And he's saying he needs the fans in the stadium, hopefully, to wake up the team. Well, that's his job. It's his job to wake up the team, to get them playing the kind of football they should be playing in a system that will be conducive to winning games.
Home and away, because there's no doubt about it. When you look at their away form, they've been absolutely outstanding. I think you look at the table, if it were just on away results, they're right up there, aren't they? I think they're in the top 4.
Well, I saw a great tweet yesterday from an Everton fan saying, away from home it's Champions League, at home it's Championship. And that just about sums them up.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's a part of it. The style of play and the players they've got is suited to when they're away. And do you know what I mean? The other team are on the front foot. But when Everton are expected to perform and create, teams are sitting deeper, letting them have the football in their own half and play the pretty passes. And they haven't quite got the finished article in those positions to create. Sigurdsson, actually, when he did come on yesterday, got into positions... You know what I mean? Where it gave them chances. And they did have chances. Listen, Everton had chances yesterday against Sheffield United, but failed. I mean, how Calvert-Lewin missed, I still can't get my head around
Amazing.
that. I still can't get my head around it.
Well, credit Ramsdale, who can pull off some great saves at times. I think that... Let's throw it out there because it's a mystery, really, how Everton can look so good. I mean, is he using James Rodriguez in the wrong way? sticking him out on the right? Should he be more central? Is it the recruitment? Because Josh King as a signing hasn't really come off, you got to say. Is it the lack of midfield depth? I'm wondering what the fans think. Bringing Holgate in hasn't worked. I mean, he nearly gave away a second goal with a terrible back pass. There's various things we could point to, but there must be a reason why Everton have been so terrible at home. Do you look at the manager, the players, the whole thing? What is wrong with Everton? I think is a fair question, because I think earlier in the season we were thinking, this could be a little bit of a breakthrough season for Everton.
I think one of the reasons as well is they've lacked goals, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true,
Calvert-Lewin is the one who's gave him a goal threat and scored the goals, but you look at the rest.
Richarlison's on 6, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, would you? The player he is, the talent he's got is just... He must be frustrated as well as an individual, because he's so talented and you expect him to score goals, don't you? And he hasn't. It's been reliant on Calvert-Lewin. So is he getting the best out of an absolutely fantastic talent, Richarlison? And you could say James Rodriguez as well. Is he getting the best out of him? Started off great first game of the season. You know what I mean? What's happened since?
And I think the fact that it's led to some people saying they're better off with James out of the team, I mean, they may be right, but that's not a good thing, because this is a talented footballer. And if you're a manager who can't get him functioning properly and, productively in the first 11, then there's something missing with the manager. I don't know what the answer is. So this is why we're throwing it out. Everton, what has gone wrong? Do you look at the manager? Do you look at the players? The whole thing? What is happening at Everton? Because I think the fans have become a little bit disillusioned ahead of the return to Goodison Park. Fans getting back in. I mean, do they actually want to go back in and watch their team? 08717 22 33 44.